What's up, guys? I just finished a really great ab workout. So today I'm giving away one of my favorite V-cut ab workouts that you can do right in your own home without any kind of equipment, no weights at all. A couple quick pointers before we start. First of all, the lower abs seem to be the obvious go-to for people that want to build that V shape. But the V-cut, it's a lot more than just your lower abs. You also have your obliques, which actually make up the majority of that V-cut. It's my muscle that comes across here. That's what we're trying to build. So just keep in mind that obliques are super important for achieving that V-cut look. On top of that, also understand that most people are working their abs plain wrong. Now, I'm not gonna be over there in your living room, obviously, correcting your form. So pay close attention to what I'm about to say, and then we'll get right into all of these different exercises. If you're aiming for an effective ab workout, you want the majority of the movement not in your hips and not in your neck, but in your trunk. So here, we need trunk flexion to hit the abs better. So bending around your waist and around the middle of your spine, that's considered trunk flexion and extension. When doing these exercises, make sure you're not just raising your legs up and down without engaging your core. And also make sure that any kind of crunch movements includes you lifting your shoulder blades up off the ground. If you're just moving your neck and your upper back here off the ground, then you're gonna be pretty much wasting your time. Understand there's a huge difference from the standpoint of working your abs when we're talking about hip flexion, trunk flexion, and neck flexion. Okay, so with all that said, the very first exercise that we're gonna work on today is one that I call the Navy SEAL sit-up. Sounds pretty badass, right? Well, it is pretty badass because this one's gonna give you a great workout without using anything other than your body weight. Start this exercise by sitting on your butt and then extend your feet out away from your hips while still keeping them slightly above the ground. Put your fingertips next to your ears and lower your upper body while keeping your feet above the ground. Then come up and bring your opposite elbow to your opposite knee. Then return back to the starting position with your feet above the ground. Now, do the other side and then go back and forth. Guys, this is a super effective exercise. This is like the bicycle sit-up on steroids. This is a tough one, so if we can get 30 reps in, that would be great. Next, we have the reverse crunch, and when this is done correctly, it could be one of the best exercises for your lower abs. You want to start by laying flat on the ground with your arms out to the sides for support. You're going to bend your knees and curl your knees in towards your chest. You should feel your hips rise up off the ground to create that trunk flexion that we were just talking about. When you bring your knees in, you really want to make sure that you squeeze and then bring your knees back out to a 90-degree angle. You don't really need to go lower than that because any lower than that will start to engage your hip flexors rather than your lower abs. This may not look like much, but this is far better than trying to hit your lower abs with regular leg raises. Let's shoot for 10 reps with this exercise. I'll explain the sets at the end when you understand how to incorporate it all into your other exercises. For the next one, we're gonna do an isometric contraction. All that means is that you're gonna be holding the tension in one position. These are called V holds. You're gonna sit with your feet straight out in front of you, and then you're gonna lean back onto your butt and raise your feet up off the ground. With your hands, reach towards your toes to act as a counterbalance. Again, you really want to squeeze your core and you're pretty much just holding this position. Now, even though this is a great exercise for your lower abs, it's also a great exercise for your transverse abdominis, which is a deep layer of abdominal muscle fiber, and for your rectus abdominis, which is that six-pack that we all know, love, and want. So you're really getting multiple benefits out of this exercise. Try to shoot for a 60-second holding period, and if you're a beginner, you could start with like 30 seconds. For the next one, we're gonna work the obliques. The first exercise for the obliques is gonna be the Russian twist. You're essentially gonna get into the same position that you were in with the V hold, being careful not to sit too upright because that'll make this exercise super easy. Now, you could grab a weight for this exercise. It could be something simple like a gallon of water or a container of laundry detergent, but since this is the no gym version, you don't need a weight to make this exercise effective whatsoever. You're just gonna sit down and twist side to side. This exercise will hit your obliques and your lower abs. Since we're doing it without a weight, you wanna go for a higher rep range. I would say roughly 50 to 60 reps is a good rep range to shoot for. If you are doing it with a gallon of water, you can shoot for 30 reps when first starting off. Next, we're gonna hit the lower abs again. These are called pulse-ups. You're gonna lay flat and point your legs straight up towards the ceiling. And then you're gonna lift your butt up off the ground as you push your hips, knees, and ankles up towards the ceiling. The critical part of this movement is on the descent. You want to lower yourself as slowly as you can while squeezing your core really tight. So you're going to raise up as fast as you want. Just make sure that your feet are going straight up. They shouldn't be going over your head. Instead, they should be in line with your hips. And then you're just going to lower down as slowly as you possibly can. As long as you do these correctly with the slow descent, all you need is 10 reps for this to be a very effective exercise. Moving on for the next exercise, we're going back to the obliques. Now, some people don't think that this exercise is effective, but that's just because a lot of people are doing it wrong. The standing oblique crunch is done by holding a weight in only one hand to the opposite side of the obliques that you'll be working. Your range of motion is very important to do this correctly. You want to maintain a very short range of motion. Dip as far as you can towards the weighted side. Then come back up, but stop before you get to where you're close to being in a straight line. As soon as you come straight up, all the pressure comes off of your obliques. I see some people not only coming straight up, but also crunching to the opposite side from where the weight is. Doing that does nothing except slow your progress. Remember, maintain a very short range of motion. Depending on the weight that you have available to you, that'll determine the amount of reps. But if you don't have a heavy weight and you just have a gallon of water, aim for 20 to 30 reps. For the very last one, we're going to hit the obliques and the lower abs. You're going to lie flat on your back, spread your arms wide to your sides, and raise your legs straight up to a 90-degree angle. Then, you're going to turn your hips and your legs side to side while squeezing your core. This is a truly great oblique exercise that incorporates the lower abs. For this one, let's shoot for that 20 rep mark again. So the way that I would set up this workout, since you're not using a lot of heavy weight for your abs, you really want to bring them to failure through short rest time and a high volume. So what I would do all these exercises as a circuit with no break in between the exercises, and then you could take like a 2-minute break at the end of all the exercises. After that, just try to repeat it for 2 more sets for a total of 3 sets. If you're hitting failure for some of these exercises and you just can't complete all the reps that are required, that's a good thing. Just move on to the next exercise and keep moving forward. That's it. I really hope that this video has helped you out as always. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and of course, visit my website gravitytransformation.com, where you can get done-for-you fat loss and muscle building programs for naturals that are proven to work. I'll see you guys soon.